Hey, YouTube. You know, Jimmy High Roller is somebody's who like I really appreciate their opinion or his opinion. I don't know why I said they. It's 2023, right? He can go by whatever he wants to. But his opinion and his perspective of the game is just something I can't look away from, right? And I'm not the only one. So let's get into it. I've never seen anything like this. What you mean, Jimmy? Talk to me.
We are now in the final stretch
Talk
of
to
the
me.
2023 NBA season, and after
Gotcha.
nearly 6 months of games, head-to-head matchups, and some of the best performances we've ever seen, we still don't have games, head-to-head matchups, and some of the best performances
Bro.
we've ever seen.
Embiid
We still
is a
don't have a
freak.
definitive MVP. Usually by this point in the season, there's a general consensus as to who the most valuable player is.
Get
But
past.
not this year, because this season we are watching the greatest, deepest, and weirdest MVP race we've ever seen. Greatest, deepest, and weirdest
Yo,
MVP
for a big man, that footwork is impeccable.
race we've ever seen.
Give it to him. Give it to him.
Today's video is brought to you by SeatGeek. With the NBA season quickly coming to a close, don't miss out on seeing your favorite team live and in person. And SeatGeek
Every time I skip it, I skip too far in the video.
day came down to Nikola Jokic. In 2021, the MVP race came down to Nikola Jokic, Joel Embiid, and Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Damn. He won by a lot.
In 2022, the MVP race narrowed down to Jokic, Embiid, and Giannis.
Okay.
And this season, 3 players have distanced themselves from the rest of the league, and those players are, once again, Jokic, Embiid, and Giannis. We are now 3 seasons into this battle of big man
Sabonis.
supremacy, and the gap between the 3 of them has only gotten smaller to the point to where we have no idea who should win the coveted award. But it's easy to lose sight of the magnitude of what these guys are doing night to night. Embiid
Yeah.
looks like a Shaq Hakeem hybrid right now, and the league has absolutely
crazy.
no
So
answer for
crazy.
it. 30 and 15 is just another day in the office for Giannis,
So
and
crazy.
Jokic continues to make the NBA look like a side hobby. NBA fans for Giannis, and Jokic
Dude, that no look, you already know
continues to
he had to be
make the
there.
NBA look
Oh,
like a side
God.
hobby. NBA fans are spoiled. So to demonstrate just how dominant these 3 big men are, here's a list of every single big man in NBA history who finished a season with a PER of 30 or more.
Okay. I'm about to say, this list should not be that long, like, at all. Oh, no. Oh, Lord. I didn't think. Oh, Lord. Oh, no. I wasn't ready. Wow. Wow. Wow.
And that's it. A mark that's only been accomplished in 18 seasons by big men. And half
Wow.
of those seasons belong to Giannis, Embiid, and Jokic. In fact, Giannis is the first player in modern NBA history to average at least 31 points, 11 rebounds, and 5 assists per game. Embiid is the first player in modern history to average at least 33, 10, and 4 a game. And Jokic is the only player in modern NBA history to average at least 25 points, 12 rebounds, and 10 assists. We are witnessing 3 historically significant seasons right now. Well, actually, despite the MVP conversation narrowing down to significant seasons
Look
right
at this
now.
dunk.
Well, actually, despite the MVP conversation
God.
narrowing down to just these 3, we're
Greek
seeing
freak, nothing.
statistical
Greek god. Come on.
explosions around the league from players who aren't even getting a mention for the coveted award. To put into perspective just how well you have to be playing this season to really have a chance at the MVP, Jason Tatum is averaging 30 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists a game. And he's
Wow.
fallen out of the MVP discussion.
Wow.
30, 9, and 5 a game.
That's incredible.
A stat line so good that LeBron James has never accomplished it. Neither did Michael Jordan, or Kobe, or Durant, or Bird, or Kawhi. In fact, stat
Excuse
line
me.
so
Excuse
good
me.
that LeBron James has never accomplished it. Neither did Michael Jordan, or Kobe, or Durant, or Bird, or Kawhi. In fact, Jason Tatum is the first and only wing in NBA history to achieve this stat line. And
Wow.
yet he has no shot at winning the MVP,
Hey,
despite
shout out
his
to
team
JT,
having the
dog.
second best record in the league. But at least
Jaylen
Tatum is
Brown.
propelling the Celtics to wins, because Luka Doncic was the favorite to win the MVP
Wow.
coming into the season, but after losing 14 of their last 19 games, his chances of winning the award have completely evaporated, turning what should have been an all-time great season into an utter disaster. Luka is averaging 33 points, 9 rebounds, and 8 assists a game right now. A stat line that has never been accomplished in the history of the NBA. Through points and assists,
sounds
Luka
like
has
straight up a
generated
video game.
47% of the Dallas Mavericks points this season, which makes him easily the most potent offensive weapon in the NBA. A wide gap on even the
Potent or the most used, because if you look at his competition, Dame's the only thing on Portland, Trey's the only thing in Atlanta, Nikola is the whole Denver Nuggets team, even though they do have more tools than just Nikola. And then you got Ja. Yeah, every person in that top 10 is like the whole anchor of their team. Oh, you got step down here. They are the entire anchor of their team. So is he the most potent or the most used?
league's best players. So
Or
in
depended
terms
on,
of value, Luka's is off the charts, but still not nearly enough to earn him the title as the league's most valuable player. In 2017, the regular season race for the MVP was a close one. Looking back,
So
some
crazy.
people even refer to it as one of the greatest MVP races in NBA history.
lightweight
The
agree
four
with that.
players that rose above the rest of the league that season were Westbrook,
Incredible.
Harden, Kawhi, and LeBron. And in terms of game-to-game impact, these were their game score averages for that season. Westbrook leading the NBA with an average game score of 24.9, with Harden and
Harden right
LeBron
behind him.
just slightly trailing him. But over the last 6 years, the game has changed. A lot. Because here are the game score leaders from this season. 5 players, all topping Westbrook's MVP season. The standard for what we expect from the league's most valuable player has never been higher than it is today. So with the MVP coming down to the wire, how will voters decide who will win the award? Well, on Basketball Reference, there's a page called NBA MVP Award Tracker, which uses a model based on previous voting results to try and predict who will win the MVP in the current season, or at least who has the best odds. And at the moment, the top 5 MVP candidates are James Harden with 3%, Jason Tatum with 3.6%, Giannis with 7.9%, Embiid with 10.6%, and currently sitting at the #1 spot is Nikola Jokic with a staggering 66.4% probability of winning the award for the 3rd straight season. But Basketball Reference isn't the only source that has Jokic as the heavy favorite to win the MVP
I mean, that's
this
heavy,
season.
heavy.
Estimated box plus minus is one of the best all-in-one
that's
advanced
late.
statistics in basketball. An updated version of the traditional plus minus stat, but with far more factors and variables baked into it. And dating back to
This is
2014,
where you
when
lose me.
estimated plus minus was first introduced, the league leader in EPM has gone on to win the MVP 6 of the last 9 seasons. And among all players, the league leaders in estimated plus minus this season are Jokic, Embiid, Lillard, Butler, and Durant. Once again,
Okay.
Jokic having a slight edge over Embiid and a considerable lead above Giannis. But possibly the most revealing metric of all comes from 538 and their Raptor War stat. Introduced to the world in 2019,
that.
this predictive model is about as convoluted and elaborate as one can possibly get. I mean, at this point, we're about one step away from a course in advanced mathematics. But to find the purpose of this
be
statistic,
honest.
look no further than its name. Robust algorithm using player tracking and on-off ratings.
At what point will we say, okay, we may have gone too far with this stat shit? Dude, what the fuck?
With wins above replacement. Or a very fancy way of saying we used every metric under the sun to reveal how valuable a player is relative to everyone else. It's complicated, but it's good.
see.
And in terms of Raptor War, here are the top 100 most valuable
War. I
players
kinda like
in the
the
league.
sound of it.
Towards the bottom, you have players like Jose Alvarado, TJ McConnell, and Tyrese Maxey with Raptor Wars around 3. Climb up
gonna
the charts,
change.
and the first player to crack the top 50 is Lou Dort, followed by Austin Reeves and Zach LaVine, all around a score of about 5. Keep climbing, and you'll find the best players in the entire league. Giannis with a score of 9, SGA with a score of 9.2, Jimmy Butler with 9.3, and Dame, Embiid, and Luka as the only players to crack a double-digit Raptor war with scores of 11, 12.2, and 12.3 respectively.
Okay, now where's
Well,
Jokic?
actually, Jokic also has a score in the double digits. In fact, Nikola Jokic has a mark so high, it looks like a typo.
Nope.
So with all the numbers and odds unanimously pointing at Jokic to win this year's MVP, at this point, this should be all wrapped up. But it's not. In the most recent MVP ladder released by the NBA themselves, the #1 spot is actually held by Joel Embiid, followed by Jokic in second. Our friends over at DraftKings have Embiid as the favorite at the moment as well, with a sizable lead over both Jokic and Giannis. But this wasn't the case
Shit, I might
just
play
a
some
couple
better
weeks
too.
ago. For what felt like virtually the entire season, Nikola Jokic was leading the charge for this year's regular season MVP. The Nuggets had the best record in the NBA, Jokic's game-changing dominance was as strong as ever, and for the last 3 months, it felt like his third MVP was all but inevitable. And then it happened.
So I didn't know if I wanted to wait to bring this conversation on No Mercy,
Kinda.
or was it
I got beef with
appropriate for First Take? And damn it, I'm here, so it's appropriate for First Take. So let me get us in outside of our comfort zone a little bit when we talk about the MVP conversation. When it comes down to guys winning MVP since 1990, it's only 3 guys that won the MVP that wasn't top 10 in scoring. Do you know who those 3 guys were?
Who were they?
Steve Nash, Jokic, and Dirk Nowitzki. What do those guys have in common? I'll let it sit there and marinate. You think about it.
Should Embiid be the MVP frontrunner?
Okay, well, don't come giving me this stuff about a triple-double. I don't want to hear that. Early in the season, about 30 games, 25 to 30 games into the season, he was actually around 9.5, 9.8. And then all of a sudden, he started searching for them assists to get it up above 10. So don't come giving me nothing about a triple-double.
God.
And don't come up here telling me about what?
Oh
What?
my God. Are you sitting here and saying Nikola Jokic is having his numbers padded? Is that what you're saying?
You heard what the hell I said.
Stephen, I mean no offense to you, and I mean no offense to
Get him, JJ.
because I think this show is extremely valuable. It is an honor to be on this desk every day. It really is. But what we've just witnessed is the problem with this show, where we create narratives that do not exist in reality. The implication, what you are implying, that the white voters that vote on NBA are racist, that they favor white people. You just said that. Yes, you did.
JJ killed Perk on this, all right? I just want to say this, though. We do live in a country where we pretend like racism isn't real. But I do want to say this about basketball. Racists aren't watching basketball, motherfucker. Like, they're like the ones watching basketball are the ones trying to help this situation. You feel me? You really got to get in tune with your audience. You know what I'm saying? Perk, this was a bad take. One of the worst takes I've heard in like.
Yes, you did.
I did.
Yes,
I
you
won't say
did.
it,
That is
I'm
exactly
not.
what you implied, Kendrick Perkins. That is exactly what you implied. Secondly,
Making us look bad.
hold on.
I did not call. I stated the facts. And you're not about to sit up.
We all know what you implied the other day. We all know what you implied just now.
Now, Steve Nash,
It's the facts.
I'll
It's
question
the
that
facts.
MVP.
It's the
But
facts.
this was such a poor take. Poor take.
In one of the most egregious cases of media bias I've ever seen, Kendrick Perkins goes on national television and completely sabotages Nikola Jokic's potential MVP run with false propaganda. Immediately following these statements, the conversation regarding
Now, I wouldn't say he sabotaged it, you feel me? Because one, it only blew up because some people were thinking about it that way. But at the same time, it's our history, right? If someone slaps you in the face, right, every day, every year, what are you going to eventually think? That they're always going to slap you? You see what I'm saying? And I think now in this progressive era, in this woke era, we are now dealing with the PTSD. You know what I'm saying? He didn't sabotage it though.
The most valuable player in the league became diluted with narratives that had nothing to do with basketball. And for the first time all season, the following NBA MVP ladder featured Joel Embiid with the top spot. The sole catalyst
he's been
leading to this
dogging
monumental
lately, I ain't
shift
gonna
on the
lie.
leaderboard being Perkins' statements. So how does a player start the season leading the MVP race, finish the season playing even better, have every metric in the game in their favor, and still get overtaken in the MVP race?
Personally, let's ask LeBron, right?
Well, if this entire saga has taught us anything, it's that narratives mean just as much as actual merit in the NBA, which we already knew as fans of the game. But to see it unfold right in front of our faces, to watch an entire season
She's
get
so
boiled
fine.
down to false narratives that skew voter thinking, is actually insane. Value is subjective. Some people value two-way dominance and holding down the best record in the NBA. Some people value offensive mastery and an unstoppable skill set. Others value record-breaking efficiency and unshakable consistency. 3 generational players,
I can get
3
with that too.
all-time great seasons, 1 MVP trophy. The 2023 NBA MVP race is the most difficult, most loaded, and weirdest MVP race we have ever seen.
God damn, Jimmy. This was good. This was so good. Well, my thing is this, right? We all live in a day and age where everyone has their own mind, right? I say use it before it's taken from you, okay? All right, well, we know what time it is, and if you don't, we about to let you know right now. It's time for you to hit the noti bell, get to know me well. Ain't nothing less to say. Everybody have a blessed day. I fucked that up. Don't laugh at me. We out.